Welcome to Mystic Musings with Tobie Hewitt. I'm Tobie Hewitt, and I'm your guide through time and space and all points in between. Mystic Musings will give you insight into who you are, why you are here, how to live an authentic life, and where you fit into the universe around you. Join me on this path of mystical exploration. Welcome to episode 96 of Mystic Musings with Tobie Hewitt. This week, we will consider the interdependent web of spirituality as we continue our mystic journey. Last week, I discussed the replacement of e pluribus unum with in God we trust on our currency, and the increased divisiveness that has grown as we have moved from the idea of oneness and toward an abstract God in whom we are supposed to place our trust. Just as trees are connected to each other through a sophisticated interdependent web of roots and their attendant mycelial connections, communicating and nurturing each other in inherent oneness, so too are we connected through an interdependent web that stretches across the universe, and indeed all universes and planes simultaneously. This web, which vibrates in and through the energy of love, exists to provide the connections necessary for all beings to communicate with and nurture each other through the connectivity of their spirit on this plane, as well as the other planes, as they move into and out of incarnations on this planet. The interdependent connectivity of spirit supersedes the religions that are entirely created through the needs of humans to explain their physical existence on this plane. Religion is human-made, while spirituality exists because this is our inherent nature. Thus, while we seem to be divided by dogmatic tenets, we are, in truth, unified through the connection of one spirit to the next. All incarnate beings are connected to each other through their spirits, which are currently incarnated on this plane. Just as trees communicate and nurture each other, so too do our spirits communicate, though on a level not discernible by most individuals who are not aware of this aspect of communication available to them. Telepathy and clairvoyance are examples of forms of communication available between spirits. Also, the sending of intent for healing, for example, which is a form of prayer, is a way of one spirit, or several, or even many, to work toward the manifestation of a positive outcome. It is said that when two or more are gathered, there is love, and in this love is the energy utilized by the spirit to communicate with and nurture other spirits. Now, when we ignore this or are oblivious to this mode of utilizing positive, love-based energy, and instead limit our spiritual work to the confines of religion, which for the most part serves to divide rather than unify people, we create the morass of incivility and willful ignorance that is pervading this country and, indeed, other areas on the planet. I have been pondering the state of the union, and I'm beginning to realize that, for the most part, there never has been a union of people in this country, because even in its earliest days, there has been a pervading feeling, and indeed practice, of us versus them mentality. And, in many ways, this mentality springs from the religious ideas that serve to separate people through dogmatic beliefs, rather than bringing people together. The idea that we are better than you because we believe in this so-called truth, which is the truth, and you are wrong and need to be converted or vanquished in order that our way of thinking can be more powerful, is what we have always been. It is no wonder, then, as we are being subjected to the whims of the least spiritually based people, who happen to be the ones who are in our government at this time, that we have no source of cohesiveness from which to derive our strength to overcome these negative forces. If we had been nourished with the actual truth that underlying everything, we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, and in that we are all connected in and through the energy of love, our ability to practice compassion, empathy, and kindness would serve to overcome the darkness that encroaches upon this country. It is the lack of awareness of our spiritual nature that leads to feelings of despair, and through that, the inability to envision and actualize a better way of life, and indeed of governing. Our founders did not believe that religion should be the guiding force of this nation. And indeed, some of the greatest thinkers subsequently became transcendentalists who believed that people and nature are inherently good and that society and its institutions corrupted the natural spirituality of people. Our country is suffering from the condition of willfully ignoring that we have a foundation much stronger than that on which we are currently basing our government and society. We are beings interconnected and interdependent through our spiritual essence. Becoming aware of and nurturing this connection through our spirits can help to overcome the darkness and foster a new age of enlightenment based on and through the energy of love. If you have questions or thoughts about this episode or any other topic in this podcast, please contact me through TobieHewitt.com and leave a comment on the contact page. I will be pleased to answer your questions or respond to your comments in future episodes. It would be nice if this could be a dialogue between us as we continue our mystic journey. Thanks for listening to this episode of Mystic Musings. Please join me every week to continue our exploration of all things mystical that can help you have a more practical and magical life. Please visit my website, TobieHewitt.com, for more information and to read my blog postings. And join me also at pathwaystomindfulness.org to learn how you can schedule a presentation. I'm available for mindfulness training, demonstrations of psychic abilities, and individual readings. I also have a number of books on mystical topics on Amazon.com. I look forward to hearing from you and answering your questions. Please contact me through TobieHewitt.com.